Hello, I'm Vanessa Nicholson. Welcome to Gamified Learning. I'll be your facilitator today. We are having a Gamified Learning Tech Tuesday on engaging students through gamification. Before we get started, I just want to go through a couple housekeeping. If you have any questions, please type it in the Q&A option at the top of your bar on the Zoom. Your microphones will be muted. You will be in listen-only mode. Today's presentation is being recorded. It will be archived and available on the IPDAY website within 48 hours. So with that being said, let's get started. I wanted to start this Tech Tuesday because we're doing gamified learning or gamification elements in a game I call Name That Game. I don't think I thought too much in rhyming that one, but you're basically going to look on the screen and see if you can name these board games. When I was younger, all I did was play a bunch of board games. So let's just see how much you know. So for number one, go ahead and think, what game is that? And I'll give you like 5 seconds to think about it. Number two, what board game is that one? Number three, what board game could that one be? And by the way, I don't have a trophy or any prize to give away if you get all of these correct, but we can just imagine that I'm giving something away. Number four, what game is that one? Number five, what game is that one? And then bonus, this is bonus because this is really old school. But all of you who remember, what game is this one? Give you a couple seconds and I'm going to back up and we'll see if you got all of them right and even the bonus. All right. Number one, if you said dun, da, 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 Monopoly, you got it. And you know, I always wanted the game piece with the car, but I never got it, but whatever. But Monopoly, I got it. Number two, if you said, and by the way, I love this game. When I played it with my sister, she couldn't stand it because I always knocked out her game piece. If you said sorry, you got it, where you have to, you know, line up all your game pieces in that little house. And then, you know, you say sorry and you knock the person's game back to start. Love that game. Number three, if you said the game of life. Oh, that was a good game. I really, really like that game. You got it. Number four, if you said Jenga. And Jenga is like, I love this game because, you know, you try not to make the blocks fall. And then they got really, really good with it and had like different colored Jengas. Like, this is good, but I always made the blocks fall. You got it. Number five, and this one, you know, could be tricky for some of you, but if you said Trouble, which I loved, when you have to keep pressing that thing in the middle until it pops up, you got it. And then the bonus. I wonder who got the bonus. I'm so curious of who got this bonus one right. But back in the day when I was in third grade, we didn't have the screen that was in color. We had the green screen, and this was called the Oregon Trail. And my person always got sick. I never, Oregon Trail was my favorite game, but I could never conquer it. I wonder if anybody ever got to the end of the Oregon Trail. But if you got all correct, congratulations. I'm sending you an imaginary trophy, an imaginary reward. But congratulations if you got all of those correct. But as you're thinking of those games, if you played any of them, I want you to think of what made some of those games fun or exciting or boring. And if you look on the screen right now, you see the game of Operation. And Operation was also one of my favorite games. I know I realized I have like 10,000 favorite games, but Operation is really one of my favorites because when I was younger, I wanted to be like a cardiologist. So to me, this was like practicing when I was a child, but also I like the fact that you're trying to take the bones out or the pieces out without touching the edges or the corner. So it's not buzzing, but that's what made it really fun to me, having to practice like I was a surgeon, but taking things out. What makes some of the games boring? I mean, is it, you don't understand the rules of the game? Is it because there's no friendly competition? There's no game elements? I know for me, when I'm playing a game, what makes it seem boring to me is like, I don't understand it. It's like, what is this? What is the point of this game? Who wins? Or if the game is just too complicated, I find it to be just pretty boring and pretty hard. So I want you to get into mindset of thinking of those type of game elements, those game mechanics or game dynamics that make those games fun and exciting. So that brings us on to gamification or gamified learning. And some people use this term interchangeably, but it's the use of game design elements in a non-game context. Others have defined it as the process of using game thinking and mechanics to engage audiences in solving problems. And it's applying game mechanics and settings or lessons to promote a behavior that will drive learning outcomes. And we have gamification elements all around it, not even just the game board sense, if you think about it. Okay. So on the left, you see a cup, and you may not know that cup, but it's a McDonald's cup, because back in the day, I was obsessed with winning the Monopoly game on McDonald's, peeling those stickers off and trying to get the board and get the free food. But that is a game element that McDonald's was using, a game mechanism, basically. Having a game board, applying those game elements. So I spend more money on getting whether the Coke or the fries. But that's a gamification element that motivated me to keep buying McDonald's products. If you look on the right, you see a bunch of credit cards. I'm all about credit cards with points. Okay, if it has no points, I don't have the Marriott points for the hotel or Delta or JetBlue or whatever, I'm not trying to have it. Those are gamification elements that credit cards also use to get you to spend more money to get the points. That motivates you to get that particular credit card. And that's just two examples of those gamification elements that are used around us that are not specifically in education. Here's another one. If you have an iWatch or anything similar to that, they also put gamification elements in that. I know that I compete with my sister all the time to close those rings. I'm like, hey, you didn't close those rings out. Nope, I closed all my rings. No, I have the badge. No, I have November. I got December. I got this. And it makes me want to compete with her to see if I'm winning. But little did I know I'm also exercising and promoting health. But those are the game mechanics that motivate you to do something. So gamification elements are really all around us, and that's what drives us to do things a lot of times when we're using certain products or services. So in education, where do you see these gamification elements? If you're familiar with Khan Academy, and it's a free website for those that don't know it, you get mastery points and challenges. So you're trying to do more lessons to gain those things. You want to have like a leadership board or something. If you're familiar with Canvas learning management system, which is a system that houses student work and helps teachers organize student work or helps keep things organized. They have something called Badger, where you can collect badges. So as you go through the modules, you're collecting those badges. Those are also gamification elements. If you're familiar with Duolingo, it teaches you to learn different languages, has so many different languages on there, but you can also unlock levels and earn badges. So what's important about these gamification elements or gamified learning? Of course, motivation. It gets you to do the thing because you want to collect the thing, whether you want to be on a leadership board, whether you want to collect a badge, whether you want to unlock the secret door, or you're on a secret mission, or you're gaining points. Motivation. It could also increase student engagement, critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and of course, help retention. So when you think of gamified learning or gamification, you don't want to gamify everything. It can become a lot. You need to start off slowly and think in your classroom, what game mechanics or elements that you want to gamify. What I usually start with is think about what would motivate my students to do this thing. Like I usually start with the end in mind. Like what's the goal I'm trying to get, and what kind of game mechanics can I use to motivate my students? You can use gaming elements such as badges, rewards, challenges, leadership boards, points, and achievements. You can also use a timer as part of your gamification tool. So today, I'm going to show you an online gamification platform that you can use that's really, really, really easy. I really, really love it. I came across it because a fellow teacher of mine, she said, you ever heard of Bamboozle? And I was like, what is that? She's like, it's kind of like Kahoot, but like turned up. And I said, okay, let me play with it. Loved it. Students love it. I mean, it is really, really a fun gamification game. So it uses a lot of elements to enhance student learning. It can be used for all subjects and courses. It is free, but you can purchase an account to unlock a lot of resources. It has over 1 million plus educational games developed by teachers. So here's some pros to using Bamboozle. It's not time consuming at all. Your students do not need a game pin. They don't need anything. You could actually just project this on the smart board and you're done. It has a huge bank of games created. It has questions in different sequence. So if you play the game once and you decide to play it again, the questions are not asked in the same order. It awards points. And it has these things called power plays, where if you're playing on teams, one team can lose all their points. One team can gain 25 points. Both teams can lose points. They're random throughout the game. And students love them because they're called power up plays. Here are the cons to Bamboozle. It doesn't filter by grade level. So you really need to know the skill you're looking for. If you're trying to figure out I want this skill at this level, it's not going to do that for you. And then it doesn't filter by state standard. So those will be the cons to Bamboozle. So how to use Bamboozle? You just go to the website, www.bamboozle.com. You can select join for free and create a username and password. You can confirm it with your email, or if you don't want to do that step yet, you can actually play the games right away without creating a password or email. Then you search for the games. Once you find and select the games you want to select, you play Bamboozle for free. And they currently have a World Soccer game that they're using as well, but I haven't played that one yet. So I stick to Bamboozle, and then you can customize the game options. There's a lot of different game choices you can use on there, but again, you would have to pay to get an upgraded option. But the regular Bamboozle is so much fun and people really, really, really love it. So let's get started to play Bamboozle. On your browser, you'll need to open up bamboozle.com, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second, and then I'm going to reshare with the Bamboozle side up. So go ahead and get that started and start working on that piece while I stop sharing the screen for 1 second. All right, so we should be on. Everybody should be able to see my screen, Bamboozle. If you cannot see it, just put it in the chat or question and answer and let me know, like, hey, I don't see anything, but you should see a big yellow screen. It's bamboozle.com. Make sure you type in 2 A's for Bamboozle. If you type in 1 A, it'll give you to a site that doesn't work. And I've made the mistake of doing that multiple times. So make sure you type in 2 A's. Once you get to the site, of course, you can join for free. But there's an option on the left-hand top corner that says games. You can actually select that to get started. And I'll show you how to join for free and create your own game, but this is the easiest way to get started. So select games on the left-hand corner, and it will bring you to the screen, and you will see 1 million games made by teachers, and they use Giphies and all this fun stuff to get the game started. You'll see a search bar on the left, and it'll say search for games. You can choose the language. It has many different languages you can choose. I usually choose English, but you can choose whatever language you want. It has featured, meaning popular, new, or A to Z. And what they mean by popular is if you look on these Bamboozle games, you will see the play button, how many times it's been played. And some of these have been played like 24,000 times, 50,000 times, one time. And usually the newer ones are not played as much. The older ones that are really popular have more plays. And then you can choose, all time. Do you want the game that was developed like this year, this month, this week, today, or forever and a day, all time, all year long. So those are the games you can use. And I'm just going to scroll up and down really quick before I do the search. And there's so many different games on here. This one has December articles where you're using like a or an. This one has Jingle Bell Rock, fill in the missing lyrics. They have some holiday stuff. This one has Think Fast, Would You Rather. There's just so many. This one has opposites if you're using antonyms and so on. They have addition, subtraction, polynomials, you name it, they have it. So it's not just ELA or ESOL. It's also math, it has everything on here. You just have to search, okay? So search for games, of course, type whatever you want. I think what I'll do today is I will go ahead and search for maybe, we could do verbs maybe. Let's do that. And again, remember I said that Bamboozle doesn't have the grade level. So that's the con I see to this. No grade level, no state standards. So if you look on verbs, you'll see the number of plays. And I usually like to get the one with the most number of plays for some odd reason. I just usually do those. You can pick whichever one you want, but you can scroll up and down and sort of preview and look how it goes past 500. There's so many different games on verbs that you can play with, but we could just stick at the top right here. So this one says simple verbs with ing. So it's going to be probably like running, playing, jumping, stuff like that. So once you select it, it gives you a preview of what it would look like. So with Bamboozle, the actual game, I want to note for you, you're flipping over cards and you're reading the question and seeing if you have the correct answer. So it's previewing what it's asking. So what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he doing? Okay, it's giving me a preview and all this good stuff. Perfect. Now you have options on the left. And I want to point these options out to you. There's play, which is what we'll do, but it has the option of study, where if you wanted to, students can study this in advance, or you can just do it as a quick, like little flashcard quiz. So what is he doing? And then you click the magnifying glass and it says he is crying. And then you click OK. What is he doing? He is jumping, and you click OK, and it disappears. But this is just the study part. And then it measures it on the left-hand side, giving them a percentage. So sometimes, you know, I like to do this before you play the game, you know, that way students are sort of familiar with the questions. You don't have to do it this way, but you can. So then you just go to back. You don't have to do the study part. There is a slideshow part, but it only shows you 4 slides because I don't have the full version, but I'll show it to you anyway. So there's a slideshow verbs. And with this, you can hide the image, you can appear the image, you can hide the text, you can have the text back. And what is he doing? And the person would name it and so on. But if I keep clicking, you'll see it will stop. And the reason why it's stopping is because I don't have the full version. So I don't normally touch the slideshow. But if you have the full version of Bamboozle Plus, of course, use it. And then, of course, you can share it. Like if you want to share this with a student, it'll give you a link because everything is held in the cloud. Everything's held in this browser. So you can give somebody like an exact link of this game. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and press play. So once you press play, you'll have these options. And usually it's just Bamboozle because that's the only free game. But now, in light of the World Cup coming on, they have World Cup Soccer, which I haven't played yet, so I'm not going to touch it. But it's probably going to be really, really fun for your students. But all the rest you can't play because you would need Bamboozle Plus. That's why it has the lock button and then the Bamboozle Plus symbol. But it doesn't matter because Bamboozle is so much fun. So you go ahead and select Bamboozle. And because we're in the free version, it's limiting us some of the teams. When you log in and create an account, you have a higher selection of teams and you have a couple more options to play with. So with that being said, how to play, I'm gonna select 2 teams. I'm gonna pretend I'm playing against somebody, although I'm not. And then the grid size, I can choose only a 16. And that's because we have not created an account yet. So it's limiting me some choices. And then of course, classic, which we love. And you always want to choose classic because it has the questions and the power ups where you can steal people's points, you lose points, you gain bonus points. All that is really, really fun. And then the other options they don't give you because you have not created an account yet. A quiz would just be like a regular quiz. It doesn't have the power up plays. And Classic Junior doesn't have as many power up plays as well. You have to know your students to know if they're going to get upset if, somebody's stealing points or, so on and whatnot. Generally, it's okay, but if students are sensitive to this, you may not want to do the power up option. So you select Classic, and there's team 1 and team 2. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I just kind of want to show you what it looks like on the version of what you did not sign up for. And then I'm going to log into my account and show you what you get when you create a sign up. So you just say, what is he doing? He's sweeping. Perfect. And then I gain points. And then what is he doing? Jumping. What is he doing? Drawing, and so on. And you'll notice that the teams are gaining points. What is he doing? It's 15 points. And I'm clicking real quick to find you a power up play so you can see what this looks like. And so on. I'm just clicking through. Right? And then you get the gist of what Bamboozle is as I go through it. I don't see the power up on this one. It should be giving me them. Go to last place. Okay, so this is a power up play. This is what they mean by power up. It just has little hidden things in here. So obviously that means so that they took points away from that team to make them in last place. So that's called a power up play. Those are the hidden game mechanics or game elements that are in there. So I just want to note that for you, because like I said, if students are sensitive to this, this may not be the game for them, but students love it because it's like a surprise. You never know what you're going to get. And then what is he doing? Right, okay, they got right. And then this one says swap points. So the team that just got the points taken away, guess what? Now they're winning. So it swapped the points for them. And then the last one, I could take points from team 1. Well, I want to win, so let's take them. And there you go, and so on. Okay. So you get the gist of what Bamboozle is. So now I'm going to show you really quick how to create a free account, and the free account has other options that this is not giving you. So to create a free account, you're going to select join for free. I'm not going to do that because I already have an account, but once you select join for free, you create your account and then you'll confirm it through your email address. So I'm going to select sign in because I already have an account, and I'm going to go ahead and enter my email address really quick. When I enter my email, it has my folder of games. Well, it has games that I've created, and then I have a folder in here of games that I've liked, games that I've added. You can't do this in just the games version. In order to have a folder and collect games, you need to create a free account to house your games. And in my account, I have stuff I've added in here, and these are not games I've created. These are games that other people have created that I've liked and added in here. So I believe it's really important to create the free account so you can do some of these things such as this. So, and as you can see, I have quadratic equations, polynomials, all sorts of things in here, ESOL, supermarket vocabulary, just different things in here. So Bamboozle has a plethora of games and some really fun, interesting stuff. So what we can do is we can look at a game. This one says identifying classroom objects. So I'm going to go ahead and select this game. And this is a game I've already added. This is not one I've created. Okay. And then I can select play. And I want to show you this because I want to show you the version when you sign up. So on that version where I didn't sign up, I only had the option of selecting 2 teams. Because I created an account, I have the option of selecting 4 teams. I can have a grid size of 8, 16, and 24. And then I could choose questions only, meaning there's not going to be any power-ups. Nobody's taking points away from nobody. Nobody's losing a turn. I can choose classic, which is what I love because that has all the power-ups. Or I can use classic with easy power-ups, meaning it's not going to be anything technical. Another great feature of this, and I'm going to change my grid to 8. Another great feature to this is you can use themes. And I love themes on this. This is what's really special. If you're doing ESOL or ELA, or you want to add vocabulary, you can have themes where students have to call the picture of the card to flip it over. That's what's really cool about this. So if I want to, let's see, what should I use for them to flip over that I want my students to learn? And there's a lot on here. I think I'll go ahead and choose, I saw something at the top. I will choose home. How about that? And I'm choosing home, and I'll show it to you in a second. And I'm going to choose classic. And this is what I mean. So for a student to ask me to flip over a card, they'd have to name the thing, right? So like spatula, hanger, sink, tub. So I really like that idea. And it's really great for teaching vocabulary, because now you're adding like a second piece to the thing. So I chose 2 teams. I could have chose one team and played against myself. You have the option, but I wanted to show you this feature really quick on there. So what is it? Stapler, of course. And then you press OK. I pressed the wrong answer because I wanted you to see what happens when I press the wrong answer. It just X's out. So what is this? Well, I didn't get to do what it is because it says I can take points from team 1, but team 1 has no points. So let's see if we get negative. Yep. So now they're -10. What is this? And then you name the thing. Got it right. And lose 25 points. Put you in the negative. What is this? And then you check. I'm gonna get it wrong so you can see what happens when I get it wrong again. And then what is this? It's blue. We got it right. What is this? It's a printer. And then what is this? Fun stuff that comes with it. Okay. You can review it at the end, which I like as well. So say students got it wrong, or you just want to do a quick review, you are able to do that at the end. So that's what's great about signing up for it. Okay, so let me show you really quick how to create your own Bamboozle game. So we are going to go to, my library, which is what I usually do. So go back to my library, and then you're going to do the plus sign that says game. Do the plus sign that says game. And when you do that, by the way, you can import games. I've never done that before. I've only done it manually. And what is it called? So we can just do something really simple. Naming parts of the body. And I already have that one up. And you can upload an image, but this is what your game would look like. It would be like your card, like your course card, or like the front of your game. Like if I had a board game, the front of the game would look like this. That's what it'd be. So you can go to the image library, you can search for GIFs. And I think I'll just choose a brain. And if you choose a Giphy that's too large, it won't be able to come on here. So maybe I'll choose something like that. And then what's it about? Students will name different parts of the body. And by the way, this is shared with thousands of teachers, and this would have to be listed public because you did not pay for an account. Now, if you pay for an account, you can choose multiple options, and then you could put hashtags in case you want people to find your game. After you do all that, you can choose make game. And then you're gonna choose your question, your answer, you can add your GIFs, you can award how many points. And then if you want your question to have an image, you can do that as well. I like to have the question with an image. So I generally, sometimes look for the GIFs first, but that's okay. I can say, what is this called? And I'm gonna look for a tooth, since we're naming parts of the body. And it has different teeth, tooth decay. This one's really cute over here. I'll do this one, and then I'll answer tooth. And then I'll press save. And I think I'll let that one stay with 15 points. I kind of like the idea of having 15 points. Save. And then what's this called? And then let me see if I could find hair. This one, I mean, they might think it's shaking their head, but you know, I'll do it. And then you press save, and then I'll do one more. What is this called? Since I'm naming parts of the body, let's see if I can get fingers. Let's see if I can show me some fingers. Oh, wow, this is a lot of fingers over here. And people might think those are hands. Let's see. And I could scroll up and see. I think I'll choose this, and then I probably explain to students that I'm talking about the digits on the hand, okay? Once you're done with that, you press close. I just created 3 questions just to show you. You press close real quick, and then I can preview my game. It's right here, and it's worth 15 points each. Remember, you can do the study option on the left. What is this called? Oh, it's a tooth. I got it right. Yes. And then it disappears. What is it called? I'm calling it a foot. I'm getting it wrong. Oops, I got it wrong. So, and as you can see, there's a score happening over here on the left. What is this called? Hair. I got it right. Perfect. And then you could restart or back it up. So we're going to go ahead and play this game. And by the way, this hide feature right here, it hides the answers when you're doing the study feature. The show feature shows the answer. So I just want to show you the difference on that feature right there. So then you press play really quickly. You select Bamboozle. Now you can't play, like students can't play against themselves. You can't play on the team of 1, which is fine. I do it all the time. No big deal. And then, like I said, you can choose themes. You can choose where they have to call the card, like call it something besides like number 1, number 2, they'd have to call it something. So I might choose school vocabulary. Now the power-ups are here where you can toggle them off. The ones that say, give some points, go to first place, go to last place, reset all scores. I just leave them all on because I like the element of surprise, but you can take them off if you want, okay? And then they have options for you right here, but you can't do this unless you're Bamboozle Plus. That's why I haven't showed you the options part. So we're just gonna play against myself today. And of course, Classic, because I want the hard power-ups. So remember, I chose school as my theme. So that's why the cards look like this. So what is this called? And I said they were called fingers, but perfect. Great. I'll take the bell. Oh no, we'll lose 25 points. Remember, I'm playing against myself. I only have 1 person. What is this called? A tooth. And then what is this called? Hair. Okay. And then I can review it or start it or restart it. One thing I want to know on here is you're allowed to have 1 folder that you can create on the free version. And this is my folder. I created it because I wanted it just to have everything adult education. I didn't want it to be limited to just ESOL, RLA, or mathematics. So I created 1 folder. That's in the free version. If you buy a version, I'm sure you can have multiple folders and so on. One thing I also want to know, if you're just going to games, and let's just pretend that I really love this game that I'm going to click on, and I think it's great. You can press the heart, the like symbol, and you could also save and add it to your folder, which I have right here. Okay, it's already checked, and then you save. That's really important to note because when you go to your library, you can look at all the things you've liked. And I just like that, and it's right here. And then I can go to my folder where I added that game, and then it's right here for you again. So it's a really, really useful tool. And I really like it. Students love this gamification piece. They love the element of surprise. I mean, they look forward to Bamboozle. It's really, 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 really a fun game. So, all right. So I'm going to get back to the PowerPoint really quick. Give me a minute, please. So there's other ways to gamify using technology besides Bamboozle. That was just one of the ways. And that was, to me, very simple, very easy. If you don't have time to create an account, you could just do the free games. There's GimKit, which is another way. There's Genially that has an actual gamification like like a platform right on it that says gamification that you can click, where you can create escape rooms. There's quizzes. You can create board games off of Google Slides. There's many free ones out there. And of course, if you're familiar with Canva, you can create board games like that as well. Other ways to gamify your classroom: you can use scavenger hunts, escape rooms. You can do different QR codes where they come in the room and it leads to missions and quests.
Vanessa, we're not seeing the share. You got to share, please.
Oh, it's resharing. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know that. But it did not share. Appreciate that. All right. Sorry about that, everyone, that we weren't seeing the screen that was reshared. So other ways to gamify using technology: GimKit, Genially, quizzes, Google Slides. If you're familiar with Canva, you can do scavenger hunts, escape room, QR codes. You can name levels instead of weeks or modules if you're using an online course. And I thought about like definitely changing and doing this part where instead of modules, you put like level 1, level 2, and then instead of like module 5, you do like an escape level or a power up level. You can add badges, points, avatars, leadership boards, power ups. You can also do this with classroom rules and your syllabus. You know, you can change the naming conventions to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you're starting the semester or starting a course, you can have students like, you know, complete this part of the syllabus and learn the policies to unlock this thing, and so on. Gamified learning is adding game mechanics that motivate or engage students in your lesson. You can gamify essentially anything. Think leadership boards, badges, points, rewards, avatars. It doesn't take a lot of work, and there are many online gaming platforms that you can use. Here are just a couple resources that I have here for you. Of course, Bamboozle, Gamification and Behavioral Design, a really good read on it. There's a framework for gamification elements. And then there's links, and they have the potential and value of using digital badges for adult learners. Thank you so much for coming to this presentation. I know it's lunch hour, but I hope that you were able to learn a little bit of what Bamboozle can do for you in your classroom. If you look on your screen, you should have some questions that will appear just to give your feedback on this presentation. I appreciate you guys for coming. While you're doing that, I want to note that there's a webinar tomorrow on Wednesday called Supporting Students with Disabilities by Utilizing Universal Design. So if you're interested, we hope to see you there. Thank you so much for attending Tech Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you more on these Tech Tuesdays.